Folks, Dave Parrish here with Knack doing another topic for you folks. Please like the video on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, that helps. But today's topic, I'm doing another one on conditional rules, fun with conditional rules. And today's topic, I'm going to go through a few things. It won't be too long. But I'm calling it solve a text formula date issues. And there's a couple other issues too. When you draw in a value with a text formula from another table, sometimes there's a bunch of reasons you want it natively in your object or table. You can lose some formatting issues. I'm going to show you this real quick. Then I'll jump into it. Right here, I'm going to go to records. Come on. And I'm going to go to a date that was drawn in class date. This is a school with various classes. So I'm going to the class instance, and these table in them are kids that are in that class. And I want that date in here natively. So I drew it in with a text formula. I could also draw it in, actually the better way is with an equation. I wouldn't have this issue, but this is still going to apply. If I look at the date, the operators it gives me to select things from are to do with text. So it's not saying after this date, before this date. So I'm going to tell you, I'll be right back in a minute and show you how to solve that. Thanks. Okay, here's the lowdown on how to solve what I just showed you with the issue of what those operators were. Here's the one text formula that I drew in, and it's not recognizing it as a date, and I may need it to. So I just make another date field, and I'm calling this, I do these asterisks when I'm sort of a behind the scenes thing, but I'm calling it text formula to actual date. So what I'm going to do is say, hey, take this value and make it this here as a actual date function. So you just do that. Conditional rule. I want everyone to be a field value, which is the drawn in one that wasn't being recognized. So now if we go to the actual records, and it's going to be blurry because I got to blur out some of the names, but I'm going to go to that one I just made, text formula to actual date. Now you see the operators that are appropriate for dates. And you can use these in a number of ways. So these are dates and times. Today or after, you get the gig, or before this date or whatever. So that works. Now I'm going to show you some other places the same logic using conditional rules can work. Right here. Here's another one. We drew in using the text formula the parent email. There's use cases where you need this, by the way, to be native. You'd rather have it native. When you're building out your pages, you can always go grab related records, but sometimes you want them native. So we have drawn in parent email and also drawn in parent's phone number. Well, these are special type of fields. And like I said, the right way to do that date one was to actually use an equation instead of a text field and make it a date to result in a date. And let's just go find that date, plop it in there with no plus, minus, subtractions or whatever. Just have that field, and that will recognize it as a date. But an equation doesn't have the ability to know if this is an email or a phone number. So I didn't do it here yet, but if I were, I'd make a matching record or a matching field, parent email, that is an actual email field down here. Because both email and phone number, if you're on a cellular, I think for sure, if you click the phone number, it's at a hyperlink or whatever the terminology is, and engage your cell phone to say, hey, do you want to call this person? And the same with the email on your computer or your cell or mobile. The email engages your email, if you click it, your email system, so you can just write it. And the text format doesn't know how to do that. So in either one of these, you'd make a matching appropriate field, an email field here, and a text or a phone number field here, and tell it, hey, using a conditional rule, the ones you just made, make this the value of the drawn in text formula, and then it's going to be formatted correctly for you to do this. And I'm sure there's tons of other use cases where you can use a matching field that's a specific field instead of the text formula to accomplish something and keep on making progress with your app. That's what I got, folks. Thanks.